Hear the music. Yeah, we didn't get the music today. We got.
They got to hear it.
Oh, you got to hear it. I didn't get to hear it.
Right.
Wow, I like it. Well, lucky you. I didn't get to hear it. That's all right. Got a little bit of technical difficulty going on with all this sound stuff and all these recording stuff. But Big Will Troop It from Troop It in the AM, he'll get it up and running. Cause that's what Troop It does. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's Wednesday, and I'm Trooper Joe, and this is Archangel of Return to Chivalry, folks, and that's exactly what this world is in desperate need of. And we have to get serious on getting back into chivalry and stuff. I notice it's coming slowly, but we have to be a little bit more proactive and bring more of this chivalry to life, because things are getting out of control where somebody says something. I'm talking about the president. When he said to that lady, he knew what he was signing up for about her son David Johnson, who was killed in Africa a couple weeks ago, I think it was, and the president called him. Everybody's heard the news and the story. But he doesn't really have the capabilities of being really an articulate, empathetic type of person. He doesn't have that. I don't know why everybody continually looks for him to be able to do. That's not in him. I'm sure, that what he said had no malicious intent whatsoever. It was just, he doesn't have any kind of common sense with that, because people to the president really don't exist. And I don't know why everybody keeps trying to make him out to be something that he's really not, and do things like that. Do I think that was an inappropriate thing to say to the lady? I think it was an ill-timed, inappropriate thing. He didn't know how to articulate it truly. This person had joined the military. Now, he had I think it was an E6. I'm not sure. So he's been in there a little while. He was with a special forces outfit, and he was in the crypt part of special forces. So that's even extra work that you have to put in. And he was doing something that he loved. Something that he did sign up for. No soldier, at least the ones that I know and remember, no soldier goes into any part of the military without realizing that you may have to sacrifice your life at some point in time, because that's what soldiers do. It's all about war. War definitely has a tendency to throw bullets around and shrapnel and all kinds of big bombs and all kinds of crazy things that could do you serious harm. That's what war's all about. At least for the soldier, he don't get to play the politics. He really doesn't get to do that. I just wanted to, just say a little bit about that, because I'm not defending Donald Trump. I'm not saying anything harsh about him either. All I'm saying is that he's a person who has no social skills. He's never needed them before. Why would he have them now that he just became, he's the president? You just don't grow social skills on a tree. They were something that he never had to have before. He never had to interact with people. He never had to talk to common people. He never had to do any of those things. He negotiated big-time real estate things with big-time people negotiating from their perspective of big-time real estate things. Did he engage with the common person? Nah, they just didn't exist for him. And now that he's in a position, he should, what he needs to have, this is what I suggest he get. You need to have, just like they used to have back in the day, a Man Friday. He needs somebody to go around with him and say, don't say that. Don't do this. just keep him grounded in social interaction skills, because he doesn't know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He just doesn't know how it applies to the rest of the world. So, Donald Trump, get yourself a guy who's very well versed in how to socially interact with real people before you try to do anything that looks really like it's a compassionate, empathetic type of thing, because you're not good at it. So don't do that. Alright? Just leave that alone. And then, the other thing I wanted to talk to was about the football. Everybody is still up in the air about football, taking a knee and everything, and the thing is marked into quite a different look from what it really started as and stuff. So I don't know how it's going to go. I think that it's really getting in the way of a lot of other things that could be really taken a deep, hard look at. If you want, the football players want to take the knee for they want to feel that they're more inclusive, they got their voice, and they want to do this because they feel that the country's not respecting black people or any of those things. That's fine. Now follow it up. Let's do some follow up on it. Let's put the risk where the risk needs to be. And the rest of the people out there, if you're against it, say you're against it. Then don't hide behind some stupid thing like the president or First Amendment rights and all these things. If you're somebody that's against the equality of minorities, go ahead and stand up and say you're against. Let's get this fight started anyway, If you're for it, say you're for it. If you're against it, say you're against it. Now we can have a dialogue, We can start a conversation from this point. But don't bring in all these other tertiary kind of touchy-feely or even silly constitutional laws and all this craziness and stuff like that. If you're for what they're for, be for it. If you're against what they're for, be for that. And then we'll start having a conversation. We'd have it right here on Archangel, or we could even better. We could have it on Truth in the Air.
That's right.
So we don't have to do. We got plenty of venue out there to get this conversation started. But at least man up and say it. That's all you got to do. Never mind going around the corners and stuff like that, because it's really starting to be pretty boring. But that ain't what I wanted to talk about today. I want to talk about burnout, because I've been hearing a lot about burnout lately. I'm burnt out. My job is so hard, life is so difficult. They say I'm just stressed and I'm burnt out. Well, let's talk about that, right? So what's burnout? And I'm talking, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about this in a way that how can somebody who's an archangel assist somebody in overcoming this burnout, right? So that's the lens that I'm using to talk about this. So first we'll start out, what is burnout? And this is one of the little definitions people like to use for it. It's a state of emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion caused by prolonged stress. That's like, 10 words that really don't amount to anything. But that's what it is. A state of emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion caused by prolonged stress. Alright. You feel overwhelmed. That's what you feel when you're burnt out. You feel emotionally drained. You're unable to meet constant demands. This is all very, very right in your face type of obvious type of things, this burnout. Burnout is, I guess, has been around for so long that people really don't pay any attention to it. They just make it into something that it's not. Because everybody's going to feel overwhelmed at a time. How would you not be overwhelmed if you're trying to impress somebody? Of course you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to be doing things that you don't understand. You're going to be doing things that you don't want to do just so that you can get some recognition or something. So you're going to overwhelm yourself. And you'll be emotionally drained. But you'll be emotionally drained because you're probably not going to get the reward that you're looking for, or the satisfaction that you're looking for, or the awareness, or the attention. So you get emotionally drained. What's wrong with me? How come nobody sees me? What, am I invisible? Yeah. You still here? And then you feel, and this is what comes off of those two, unable to meet constant demands. Because they're not the demands that you were tasked to meet in the first place. They're the demands that you tried to put out there to show that you can do something that you maybe can or maybe cannot do. So that's one way of the emotional. And then burnout reduces productivity, right? You can't do the job. It says right here in the third part. You can't meet the constant demand because you're the other two made it possible that you can't do that. So the productivity goes down. So you're getting burnt out because the first part of your burnout comes because you're taking on stuff that you can't do. So remember, as an archangel, the best way to be an archangel in a situation like that is just, if say you're at a workplace, or just say you're at home and you're noticing that it's okay. Let's say it's your man, and you're noticing that your wife came home and she's tired, or you came home and she's tired from chasing the kids all day around and everything, and then she drops a plate, and the plate breaks on the floor. Don't put your shoes back on and walk around. Get the little broom and pick it up for her, because obviously that would ease her thing, because she's probably got 100 things on her mind. And it works the same in reverse too. The guy comes home and he's all beat up and everything like that. I don't know. I don't advocate drinking or anything. Ask your honey, you want a cup of coffee? You want a beer? You want something like that? Don't say, how's your day when they walk through the door and you hear the door slamming, bang, and the dog is going, because you kicked the dog. It's like, don't ask the obvious question. He had a hard day. He's on the verge of burning out. Same with the woman. If the cat's running with the cat, it's hiding someplace. Don't ask, how's your day? Ask them if they want something or do something like that. Because that'll help, So, because you reduce the energy. When you're burnt out, you start to feel hopeless. And it ain't nothing more hopeless than doing something that's easy and it doesn't work. Like you dropped a plate and it broke. Of course it's going to break, but you dropped a plate. You never drop a plate. But you dropped a plate. You feel hopeless. And then you feel cynical after that. Oh, what are you going to yell at me for dropping the plate? It ain't my fault I dropped the plate. It was too big. It was slippery. It's your fault. You didn't dry it off. Something like that. We need to go buy a new dishwasher. So get all cynical and nasty and everything, and then you get resentful. This is all signs of a burnout. You begin to resent the person that you love because they're not burnt out. You're burnt out. So they're just not seeing that you're burnt out. So now you start to resent them. And then you feel like you have nothing. Because now you feel like I can't justify all this kind of resentment. I can't justify this cynicism. I can't justify this hopelessness. Therefore, I must have nothing. Because there's no justification. You can't give any justification for that. So You feel like you don't have anything. Yeah. And you know, these effects, they all cause negative things in your life. That's what burnout really does. It just gives you a life of almost pure negative actions. You start lying to yourself. You just any way that you can to justify your existence. Basically, is what you're trying to justify. Why do I have worth? You know, but you can't find worth because you're burnt out. Yeah. That's a little bit about burnout. Now here's some signs and symptoms of burnout. I think I mentioned a couple in there. You got physical signs of burnout. You know, and one is you feel tired all the time. You're just drained all the time. I'm so tired. I can hardly move. You know, I'm just tired all the time. I can't get up. You know, that's a sign of burnout. It's also a sign of many other things. So, but then you feel tired. Then you get this that comes along with you get sick. Well, of course you get sick because your body's not doing much. So your immune system's not being tasked. You're not doing much of anything. So you're opening yourself up to being unable to fight off different easy viruses that you would have fought off or you would have just ignored. Most people ignore the common cold when they first get it. They don't really get sick till the last bits or in the middle of the common cold. At first, they just ignore it. Yeah. So, but when you're burnt out, you don't ignore it. You're sick all the time. And then you have muscle ache and a headache. Mostly back up here in the neck, because I don't know why everybody thinks that's where stress accumulates. I guess it's from always walking around like this with your head down and your shoulders up. So yeah, you're in a state of eccentric contraction all the time. So you're gonna overdo those muscles. They'll go into a thing called tetanus, and then you'll feel stressed there. You'll feel muscle ache there. Yeah, and you get a headache from holding that big head down and trying to lift it up every once in a while. And then you get, here's a good part, you get a change in appetite and sleep. Now that change in appetite, folks, doesn't mean that, oh, I'm not hungry. More likely it goes into reverse. You start to eat more, you know, because you're seeking something to justify why you're special. You know, that's part of the thing that you're seeking. So what are you going to eat? Comfort foods. Whatever it is that you truly enjoy. So you'll start to eat those more and more and more. So comfort food for me is like French fries or chicken or something. So, you know, if I find myself just, you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm having French fries and chicken, hey, I might be having a little bit of burnout going on. Because that's what happens. You get a change in appetite. But most people are going to focus on, oh yeah, why come you're not eating? Oh, I don't feel like it. I'm too tired to eat and stuff. They're just playing along with the whole thing because the change in appetite really goes the other way. You're going to seek out food to comfort you. So you'll eat more and sleep less. You'll be, because you're going to bed with nothing but all kinds of ER type of worry on your mind. Oh, sleep. You know? So you're not going to get a whole good night's sleep doing that all day. Yeah, so let's look at some of the emotional things with this. So you get emotional, you know. You get a sense of failure and self-doubt. I mean, these are real things too, folks. A lot of people get a sense of failure and self-doubt. They get the self-doubt first, and then they add on the failure. I can't do that. Oh, it's going to be too hard. I can't do that. You know, it's something easy. It might be flipping an egg, you know, making an egg in a pan. Some people can't fry an egg because they doubt themselves. They just don't know. Turn it over. You know, they can't do that. That's a real simple kind of way of looking at it. But even in your job, you might have a big job and you know you can do the work. You see a promotion coming right down directed right at you. You know it's your job. It's like, that's my job. I can do this. I can do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. And then by the time, you've gone from all that enthusiasm and you saw that job, and the closer and closer it gets, the more self-doubt you get, because you're burnt out. And then you get a big sense of failure. And why'd you get a sense of failure? You made it. You created it. Yeah? So, you see the job coming, open your arms. Yeah, come on, grab it. This is mine. Because if you tell yourself you can do it, don't worry about it. You can handle it. You can handle it. Don't try to handle it to somebody who's given you the job, has been in the job for 20 years. He's just giving you the job because either it's time for him to move on, or it's become a little bit overpowering for them. But if you know you can handle it, handle it. So these are emotional, right? So now you get that feeling of helplessness. I need help. I can't do these things. I can't do anything. This all comes back to the same thing about justifying your existence. I can't climb this tree. It's your tree. Climb it. You can climb that tree. I can't climb the tree. It's too high. I don't know how. I feel helpless. Can't climb the tree. Then you feel trapped. You feel trapped in your own backyard with your own tree because you can't climb it. And you think that everybody's going to be looking at you. How come he doesn't climb this tree? Well, he's too afraid to climb this tree. He has all that self-doubt about climbing this tree. So now you feel trapped about that. And you feel defeated after you feel trapped. All about your tree. It's your tree. Right? It's your tree. It's not my tree. It's not Will's tree. Nope. It's your tree. Climb your tree. Don't chop it down. Climb it. And then this defeated and trapped feeling of helplessness, it starts to go away once you get up in those leaves, in those branches. You'll feel much better just by climbing your tree. And I'm using the tree as a metaphor. Unless you got a real tree you want to climb, go try that one too. You can do that. And then more with the tree, you feel alone in the world. If I only had somebody to give me 10 fingers. Remember 10 fingers? You put your hand like this, and then put the foot in it, and you raise them up. You give you 10 fingers to get up in your tree. You don't need 10 fingers to get up in your tree. You could actually climb up in your tree and reach down and pull somebody else up. It's your tree, and you have the makings to do all these things, or you really wouldn't have had your tree in the first place. You'd have had a different tree, maybe a smaller tree, maybe a bigger tree. But it's your tree, so feel as though you can climb your tree. You don't have to feel alone in the world climbing your tree. You can always climb your tree and then pull somebody else up into your tree. That's the best way to approach your tree. You go up it and then you help somebody else up it. Now you feel real good about yourself. And then you get a loss of motivation. Because every day you're looking at that tree. And that tree's looking at you, and the leaves change colors and fall on the ground. And then they come back in the spring with buds and stuff like that. And you get more enthused about climbing your tree. The summertime comes and I'm going to climb this tree. And then all of a sudden, I can't climb this tree. And you go right back into number one with the self-doubt and the failure. And you just walk through the seasons all over again. And your motivation is totally gone. You can't hardly move now. You're tired now and you're sick. And your muscles ache and your head hurts. And you're hungry for comfort food. You want ice cream and chocolate and cake and French fries. I like French fries. And what happens with all these emotional feelings? Here it comes, folks. You feel negative, you feel cynical, and this is how you walk around. Smell what you looking at? What? You don't like me because of who I am? You don't even know me. You just talking to yourself, but aiming it at anybody who comes near you. You know, all negative. Yeah, yeah. I can't do that. So yeah, yeah. And how this is all burnout. This is all burnout. And for me, how can you eliminate that burnout? Climb that tree. You know? And then you got this feeling that you get a decreased satisfaction. Even if you do something after you can't climb your tree because of that self-doubt you put in there. Even if you accomplish something. It might have been a big thing, but you're not satisfied with it. You know, it doesn't matter. It makes no difference that you raked up the all the leaves around the tree and the grass looks all this beautiful kind of iridescent green. I mean, we'll put some real green on there. You got iridescent green. The moonlight makes it shine. I mean, you got all this groomed grass and everything neat around there. No bugs. You don't have no bugs around you in your grass. You know, so all that. And all that's not satisfying because you can't climb your tree that you made. Everything else can be perfectly great. And people could be so envious of that. And you'll yell at the people too for being envious when you're burnt out. Not for being envious, but you won't see that they're envious of you because you can't see any of the good because everything that you're looking at is negative. Even though you got the best iridescent lawn in the world. You know, with no bugs and I mean, little animals come visit you and stuff on the lawn, and this is just a great place. People come by just to take pictures of it and put it in magazines, and it's not satisfying. Everything like that's not satisfying because you can't climb your tree. You're full of self-doubt and failure. You're a worthless, totally worthless individual because you can't climb the tree that you created. But actually, you can climb that tree easily. All you got to do is get a little bit more motivation and do it. Now let's look a little bit about behavior. Now, what happens with this behavior, not being able to climb that tree, right? You withdraw from responsibilities. This could happen when you're burnt out. And what would happen with that tree if you didn't climb and you start to withdraw from your responsibilities? You're not going to take care of the lawn. The iridescent grass is going to start to look shabby and everything. You're going to get grubs and ants and all kinds of stuff. You know, people aren't going to be coming by and noticing your lawn anymore. These things are going to start to manifest themselves there. This is where all that's going to end up. And what that's going to do, it's going to increase your defeatist look at self-worth. Yeah, you're going to see yourself more and more as a failure because not only now can't you climb the tree, you don't have the lawn anymore. It's starting to decay and go away. And you feel isolated from other people, you know? Because, like I said, they're not coming around anymore to see your beautiful lawn. Because they still may not know that you can't climb your tree. You know, you're the only one who knows you can't climb your tree because it's the word self-doubt. You know, and you feel like a failure. They may not know this, but after they start noticing that the shine on the grass isn't as bright and things just start the way they looked last week and everything, and the negative nastiness just keeps coming out of your mouth, might be a little bit irritating to some people, probably all of them. Yeah, it's, you know, you feel isolated because you are isolating yourself. Yeah. And then you procrastinate. That's one of the major things that people do when they start to feel that burnout. They start to procrastinate. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna get a ladder and climb that tree. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna climb that tree. I'm gonna do this. You just wait. As soon as it gets to be spring again, I'm climbing that tree. Well, maybe I'll wait till it's almost summer when it's all beautiful and everything, and I'm climbing that tree. Yep. Soon as summer comes, I'm gonna climb that tree. You just wait. But first, summer's here. I better start taking care of some of this grass before I climb that tree. You know. So, oh man, this taking care of that grass. But I'm gonna get that tree as soon as the fall gets here. As soon as the leaves are all down off the tree, so I can just climb up that tree, 'cause the grass will be all taken care of and everything. It's winter now. I can't get out to my tree. The snow's too deep. So I better wait till spring again so that I can climb my tree. So you procrastinate yourself to where you're never going to climb that tree. It's just not going to happen. You know? And then, what do? Start using your food again. This is a behavior that you're gonna take on. You're gonna run right to food. Some people, well, it's more than just food. People run to food, alcohol, and drugs. That's what happens with your behavior once you reach that procrastinating stage of your burnout. You know, because you know it's coming. You're either going to eat yourself into something that you really don't like and don't want to be because it makes you feel good anyway. At least I feel good. Or you're going to do drugs and just zone out, or you're going to do alcohol and just zone out and just walk away from the world as best you can. Yeah, and that's sad, but that's what you do. And when you get to that stage and you start to do this thing, even with food, now remember, food is just as bad of a culprit as the drugs and the alcohol. You know? You start taking out your frustrations on everybody. You know? It's really gets to be real bad. The dog doesn't get fed. Get you, dog. You want some food? You better learn how to open that refrigerator. Yeah, you better learn how to open that bag and pull your own food. You just start being mean and nasty and little sarcastic things towards everybody, because that's all you have left. No, that's all you have left from burnout. Alright, so let's look at the time. Alright, let's take a little short break, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the differences between burnout and stress. Hi folks.
Served weekdays for those who want to dine in is Basil and Spice Lunch Specials. For $11.95, you have your choice of garlic pork, lemongrass chicken, pad king chicken,
That's where
or spicy tofu and vegetables. All lunch
When is that going to be?
include a salad
Saturday.
and Thai rolls. Basil and Spice Lunch Specials.
Were you invited yet?
Monday through
Not yet.
Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Stop by, try out.
I invited my daughter, and she figured basing it back because she got to. Because her guy, Tom, he's got to work, so he can't drive, so she don't
Working
drive,
with some
so
of the best Thai chefs.
Rhonda got to bring Mason and Matt.
From Thailand and
They'll be alright. It's only for about 3 hours, because I told her mother too, you better check with her to make sure.
That's going to be a long drive for him, 2 hours, right?
Yes. So
their menu consists
it's going to be from 2:30, I think, to about 5, because then she has to go with all the Mormons to the Mormon conference thing that starts at 6 or something like that. It's like, you should have asked her.
Right.
That's people are driving 2 hours. People are driving up from Fall River and Rhode Island and stuff like that. It's like, because